fire, 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 fire.
Modern audience! Game devs are getting fired and they're panicking and freaking out and raging. Alright, I'm ready.
Before we get to it, let me just
Preparing
apologize for the
myself.
lack of uploads the last few days. As you surely know, the internet has been a pretty disgusting place to say the least.
It's been awful. Trying to find stuff to talk about has been quite the pain.
Both with this horrific clip going around, very, very graphic clip of what happened to Charlie Kirk, and many people celebrating what happened. And while I'm really not that familiar with Charlie Kirk, I've seen like maybe 10 minutes of Charlie Kirk clips randomly my entire life.
Yes, me too.
I can certainly say that the clip is disturbing, and what happened to him is...
I legitimately, I was forced upon it, like, on my Twitter feed, literally 5 minutes before stream. Yeah, I don't know, I almost called it. I was like, I can't do this, but I need to gather my thoughts.
Disgusting. And as someone who has personally dealt with violence and death in real life, this sort of environment that the internet's been recently is not the sort of environment that I want to engage with. And as such, I've spent the last few days mostly off the internet. Not fully, you know, but more than I have in a while. And instead spending extra time training with my Muay Thai team and at the gym, because that's the sort of thing that makes me feel better during these sort of times, to say, to put it like that, I should say. And yeah, that's what I did. But now I'm back, and we've got a number of modern audience type game devs celebrating the violence and then very quickly finding out. Legal Mindset 3 hours ago said OSHA is step 1 to clean up corporate America and investigate extremists celebrating death.
OSHA.
Strong legal precedent.
OSHA stepping in?
HR can't minimize it. Reporting can be done anonymously, and it doesn't have the cost of a lawsuit. It's free. Act now if you see a credible threat in the U.S. Asmongold responded, saying, "This is great insight. Honestly, I didn't know how strong some of these systems were. Look forward to sharing this information in future videos." And the reason for this exchange between Legal Mindset and Asmongold is, as mentioned, people are collecting what a number of these modern audience devs have been saying on their social media accounts. And they tend to be saying this stuff over on Blue Sky, which takes us over to the next part of the video.
I was just fired from my job! I was just fired from my job!
Bro, I had a warning for that, and I'm still... Dude, what?
Nothing! I have nothing anymore! Ah!
I don't know the...
I saw this on Twitter the other day. Granted, the volume wasn't that loud. I'm pretty sure this was bait and not actually someone that was fired because of their opinions about the assassination. Tons of people are losing their jobs because of it. Like, my neighbor was literally telling me last night when I left to walk my dog that he had to fire a lady from his company. But this video isn't one of them, I'm pretty sure. It's gotta be rage bait, someone just acting out, right?
Full context to that one for sure, but people are saying this is one of the individuals who was advocating for violence on social media and then got reported. Moving on from that, we've now got Crystal talking about this Final Fantasy XIV localizer. Yeah, no surprise there. Named Kate. And Kate had the bright idea to repost a take from Michael, a disgusting take, as a matter of fact, where Michael and the people agreeing with Michael and signal boosting Michael, reposting Michael, you get the point. Well, they're advocating for a purge. A purge.
From all public life. Okay, I would have interpreted maybe like purge from social media or something. I would have left it at that. But from public life is... Tagging that on in the end there is very insane.
Of people that they dislike.
What?
And you know how these individuals are. They dislike 99...
I'm all up for interpretation, but this really tagged on here is just like, oh my god, man.
9% of people, if not more. And they try to justify their violence and hate by falsely accusing people. Like I said, we all know how these sort of people operate. But here's what happened next. Kate's in panic mode as people began to take a look for what Kate was saying and other devs were saying on Blue Sky. And then talking about what they were saying on Twitter and reporting them to higher-ups.
Kate is also the mastermind behind Dawn Trail. Yeah, I've heard Dawn Trail really blows. Like, this story is really bad.
Kate then went on to say, regarding leaving Blue Sky, I'll try to find who I can elsewhere before I ultimately cannonball into the void. But moots are welcome to DM me for my Discord too. Probably should have remembered to post this a while. The rest of the world was awake. But if you want to delete old posts to prevent trolls from crawling them, this tool is what I use. And when I was initially reading up on it, people said it sometimes doesn't work with account handle rather than email. It has reliably worked for email with me. Also, if you're deleting a lot of posts, it'll take time due to rate limits.
They can't even contain their echo chamber. That's honestly kind of crazy to me. Yo, Lume! What up? Thank you so much for the raid! Thank you! Did you play Age of Empires some more? Oh my god, she did! Hell yeah. Welcome on in. We've conquered Rome. All roads lead to Rome. We're looking at people getting fired for being absolutely insane, crazy people. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a good time. Thank you.
Don't forget to save the job code if you want to check up on it. These people are in real time enacting damage control for the horrible things that they've been saying. And, you know, these sort of people also often advocate for people to be held accountable for what they say. But here they are running and hiding, not taking accountability for.
Do these people not realize that deleting something off the internet doesn't get rid of it forever? Like, people can screenshot and also, like, go into the Wayback Machine.
Things that they've said. That takes us to Pyronation, who said the Ghost of Yotai dev who celebrated what happened to Charlie Kirk has been fired. Because I believe they removed...
Drew punching Nazis till I die. Okay, interesting.
Ghost of Yotai
Apparently
from their
I'm a
bio,
Nazi. I guess
and
I
they made
deserve
this
to get
tweet
punched.
talking about losing their dream job. Now, Asmund Gold and others would question if this person really did get fired, considering that they may have just made that tweet and changed their bio to try and like take some of the heat off them, making it look like they got fired when they may not have actually been fired. So who knows for sure. I also realized I said...
I don't know. I was thinking of giving Yote like at least a fair try, because like I really liked Ghost of Tsushima. But now I'm not so sure anymore with how crazy the people are coming out that made this game. Not just this chick or this person. But the people that are like in the game.
Tweet when that was a Blue Sky post. I'm still getting used to making that distinction. My bad.
Yeah,
nevertheless, Smash JT provided some more interesting insight into this Drew dev person, saying Drew Harrison, who worked on Ghost of Yotai, was allegedly let go from Sucker Punch Productions today for comments about Charlie Kirk. It posted on LinkedIn how much it hates beautiful women being represented in video games. Explains a lot.
What?
And so let's take a look at this. My gosh, what do we got here? I find it interesting that when discussions around how games deal with sexualizing characters, it is almost always men discussing how women are depicted in games. This entire thread is men weighing in on how to reach a middle ground on how to make a character. How to make characters that they find physically attractive. There is no balance because the industry is still heavily skewed by being cis-het male-dominated. Even your example shows.
Wait, but if you put an attractive character in, that means that gay women can like those characters too. Like, it's not about cis-het dominated either. I can't help but think in my head, like, it's not just for, like, heterosexual men. I like hot women in video games and I'm a het woman, like, what?
Real-life woman fully clothed in a jumpsuit while the character is in her underwear showing under boob. You've literally turned the person who looks and moves like a living person into a stylized Barbie in her underwear. The physical attractiveness of characters, such a moot point to creating a good game. Well, it's actually not. It definitely is not a moot point at all. I mean, take a look at what happened to Concord. Yeah. Because contextually, any game that features characters heavily, so not really like grand strategy, RTS games, etc., obviously, but games like RPGs and hero shooters, as mentioned, games that are more individually character-centric, well, it's no coincidence that people often make attractive characters when they have character creation options. Sometimes you see people go very far in the other direction and make ugly characters.
Why would you want to be ugly in a fantasy world? You want to be the most attractive you can be, like, at least to me, right? Why would I want to? Like, I open up a video game, I don't want to see an ugly character as representing me. jealousy, but I don't know, man. I guess I'm just different. Neither Sucker Punch nor Sony have made a public statement on it. Fucking cowards, every one of them. Yeah, but you would say the same thing if they didn't fire them. At least they're firing them.
Characters to meme around with, but it's very common that when people take creation seriously,
at least they're
they end up
firing
making
them.
attractive
At least
characters.
there's something.
So with Concord, going back to that really quick, I think the price point was also a factor, among other things, for why that game is historically one of the biggest disasters in gaming of all time. But clearly, having a hero roster of ugly, boring weirdos in a hero shooter game, well, that was...
We saw how people reacted when Marvel Rivals came out, and how Overwatch people reacted and said, there's so many attractive characters. It's really showing how much they cater to white male gamers and the straight fantasy. And I'm just sitting here like, maybe because it sells and it's not about like a fantasy or fulfilling a certain agenda. Have you ever thought about that?
A terrible decision. And Drew here seems to think that it's a moot point, that such things don't actually matter, which is peak delusion. And there's nothing wrong with attractive characters. It's actually extremely bizarre that the modern audience is so offended by this concept. And so here we have Kirsha responding to Asmongold, where Asmon said, if you guys want to make a list, if I have time tomorrow, I can put them all together in a video with links to their employers. Kirsha says, Asmon asking for a list of game devs celebrating or condoning what happened to Charlie Kirk. And if you have any posts or videos anywhere, please reply to him with them. Where someone was offended by this, it seems. This user saying, I'm not condoning what happened, but it's so ironic that these guys have waged war on cancel culture and then continued the same behaviors, same exact playbook. They condemned people being fired over edgy opinions online, just to turn around and do it when their turn came.
Hold on. Hold the fuck on. God, this makes my fucking blood boil. No, this isn't even close! You were canceling people for saying slurs and refusing to use your pronouns! Now, you're being canceled for celebrating when a father and a husband died fucking horrifically in front of millions of people for the crime of having a different opinion than you. You're being canceled because you're being dangerous animals that have no place in civilized society. We are not the same. This is so crazy.
Well, they really shouldn't be crying about this, considering that these modern audience types literally made this set of rules where they utilize cancel culture and openly advocate using it.
It's not the same.
But hey, now that people...
They live in a different reality.
Are playing by the rules that they set, they're suddenly...
They tried to cancel Chris Pratt for the crime of being thankful that they got a healthy child. Yes. Well, no, you have to think that. You have to think that you want to have kids with disabilities. Otherwise, you're a bigot. It's like, oh my God, man. I
all
remember
mad. They're all upset and fearful about that. It's very much a rules for thee, but not for me sort of moment. So yeah, people are continuing to compile more lists of individuals who are advocating for violence, especially in the gaming sector. For example, Bethesda here, and a Bethesda producer, which Madam Savvy tweeted about, getting a response from...
It is so ingrained in every industry. How many of you in chat have realized how many people, like, not even like relatives or anything like that, I'm not talking about that, people who own restaurants or businesses that are getting canceled in your local area? I'm not saying they deserve anything like violent towards them or anything like that, but people who are like upset that people are not going to their place of business anymore. I bet you it's an enormous amount, because the amount of people posting about it on Twitter is kind of crazy.
Elon Musk, who says, wow.
Not really,
and Madam
no.
Savvy going on to mention that she's documented many more here from various major companies.
I've heard a
decent Asmongold
amount.
would go on to say, in regards to a video he posted about
it's a saga
reporting these sort of individuals, that this is episode 1, by the way. I will continue to do this until they are all gone, or the companies that protect them have their reputations destroyed beyond repair. Keep joining the Twitter community. Keep sharing the post. It's working even faster than I anticipated. And that's where I'll close this video for today. But hope you all enjoyed this one, and thank you for tuning in to my 2-day off return video. Appreciate the support as always. And if you enjoyed this coverage, you enjoyed my coverage, consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate you. See you in the comments here. Keep up the great work. Be safe out there. And I'll see you in the next one.
Canceled for disagreeing opinions, but it's fine. It's totally fine. The cognitive dissonance of saying it's not okay to celebrate someone's death to saying, oh, well, you said a slur online 10 years ago, you deserve to get your life ruined. It's like, that's not the same, you weirdo. It's not. You're crazy. Stop it. Anyway, go check out Hero. He needs the support. Apparently he hasn't been posting very much. They lie. They live in a different reality, genuinely. I think that's what it is. I know so conservative celebrating Biden's cancer. I have, absolutely, I have, and I think that's abhorrent. I don't want, and again, I have to reiterate this. When Biden was in power, I never wanted him to, like, get hurt or, you know, get ill so that he can't be president or anything like that. I just wanted him, because he was being paraded around, because he was starting to deteriorate mentally, at least from the public appearances that he showed. I just wanted him to hang out with his little kids, his little family that he had, and, like, eat ice cream. I don't care. I didn't want him to, like, suffer. He said some horrible, heinous shit back in the day. He really did. And I disagreed with him a lot, but people shouldn't have said, oh, well, I hope he gets hurt or something. I hope he's a clone and all that stuff. That conspiracy theory shit. I just wanted him to eat ice cream and be happy. People are abhorrent. People's behavior gets vitriolic, and I don't want people to say that about me either. Because you want to know what happens? When Charlie Kirk got shot, the first thing people did were saying things like, you're next. And I'm like, thinking to myself, like, where's the line? Where do people draw the line and say, like, oh, well, I've been called a fascist and a Nazi. I'm not one. I'm objectively not one, because they like to throw that name around. And what if some freak, like, decides to find out where I live, or someone else that I know, like Shoe on Head, for example? What if they're like, oh, well, this is it. This is what fucking breaks my, you know, like, breaks the straw on my camel's back, and then they explode and do something harmful.
Fire, 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 fire.